Hello and welcome to NSK's PV Power Hour for May 26th, 2018. My name is Yoshi. This is a podcast about Japanese idols brought to you by NewSchoolKaidan.com, and I'm joined as always by Charlie Draco. Kaidan, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Not a
Waiting.
whole lot.
You're gonna be remotely busy this weekend.
Yeah.
Not too bad though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be busy sleeping tomorrow.
That sounds good.
Yep. But Monday, it's going to be busy for me. Retail, holidays. Yep. It'll be damn busy. So, gotta get ready for that. So, we should take a little bit of a breather, relax by talking about idols, new PVs from all these groups. We're going to talk about 8 PVs tonight. First up, we're going to talk about TGS Tokyo Girl Style Kisuwa Agenai. I'm not giving you a kiss. Oh, spicy. Or something.
Spicy, yeah, sure.
Yeah. They don't need no man. That's the title, basically.
No, they gotta eat each other instead.
Yeah. Yeah, the love between two girls. 4 girls.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of portray it as two in this one,
Yeah.
like two pairs.
Yeah. So let's talk about the PV then. It's kind of hard to describe what exactly is going on with most TGS PVs. They've done this in the past too, where they're supposed to have some sort of central theme, but it's kind of vague and artsy, so it's kind of up to your interpretation
Yeah,
and you paying attention to the lyrics, which I don't really do. I don't really care about lyrics, so
yeah.
it's hard for me to follow along if I'm supposed to pay attention. So yeah, there's a part about a poisoned apple. So I guess she is Snow White,
Sure.
or they're Snow White,
Or the witch.
or sure they're the witch. And the part where Hitomi says poisoned apple, a apple drops to the floor, but it breaks and shatters like glass.
Yeah. It's a very, I don't know. It has a very retro feeling to it, to the whole PV.
Yeah. I think that partly due to like there's some shots of 80s ish VHS footage
Mm-hmm.
randomly spliced in. It's 4:3 ratio too, so it's kind of jarring when it
Oh
switches back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Interesting. I didn't
yeah,
notice that.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that the entire time because I'm kind of sick of the hey, we're bringing retro 4:3 and fuzziness back. I am
Yeah.
kind of over it after seeing it from like Especia and a million other groups that followed suit. So
Yeah. I'm kind of glad they went with the black bars instead of just colored bars. It's less jarring that way.
hmm
It whereas if they'd went with like pink bars or something, it would have been like it would have screamed.
right, but it's definitely not cohesive for me. I don't think it was necessary because the song itself was very retro, so we didn't need any more retro. It just
Yeah.
retro on top of each other. So I'm not a huge fan of that. It's definitely very obvious and jarring. So
Yeah. Yeah, and even I feel like even the outfits are a bit retro with like the 50s polka dot skirts.
yeah, I love those outfits. I really do. It's like black, red, white, and that's
Yeah.
it. And those colors are very easy to match and pattern.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did a really good job with it. I think the biggest offender of weirdness is probably Hitomi's skirt. It's just like this huge poofy thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not it's poofier than Maze.
right, Maze is a little more styled.
Yeah.
And I really like their what is it? The Wizard of Oz Dorothy shoes.
Mm.
Some of them are wearing the red ones, so I
The red
appreciate that.
slipper, or yeah, the red slippers.
Yeah, it's very cohesive. It's got a definitely a cohesive look to
I,
the PV.
I think my biggest issue with the outfits was Hitomi's straps in the black outfits.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just kind of threw it off for me
Okay.
with the way the black was styled, and then you got the white strap over the top. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I think that's about where most of the color comes from in this PV. This PV is very
Mm, yeah,
not like gray or white or anything. It just feels very stale in terms of color. It feels a little darker.
feels very dark. It's not so much like
Lighting dark. It's like just I don't know. It's hard to
yeah.
explain it. It's just dark overall.
It's like they had a filter that really limited the amount of light that came in.
Right.
Because a lot of these shots are outdoors, and
Right.
even they look dark.
I mean, I prefer this over bloomed
Oh yeah,
FL
oh yeah,
and like their
definitely.
face is white and you can't see their nose, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
okay with this. It's just yeah, it's definitely a mature PV in like the classic TGS of very not so uh hidden sexual innuendos or,
yeah,
sexual tension, like
yeah,
grabbing of like the calves and the legs and they're putting their legs on top of each other's legs, that kind of stuff where they're making sensual faces and stuff,
yeah,
so that is definitely happening, like classic TGS.
yeah. It's very TGS.
Yeah.
I actually thought about TGS. I'm like, they haven't released anything for a while. Like 3 days later, they released this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
What is the last thing they released? Oh, it was the one
Uh,
with Ohara Yuno. It
yeah,
was Ohara Yuno by herself walking around.
yeah,
It was a good PV for what it was.
yeah,
So I think this PV is good for what it is. It's just
yeah,
classic TGS PV. It's never the most interesting.
yeah. Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah. Well, even initially I would watch PVs like um Liar, and I'm thinking of what is the one where he told me he's on a couch outside and there's like wind blowing her face
And
with water.
man,
No, not ume. A limited addiction. And
uh,
there's like a lizard or iguana, you know? It's just weird symbolism, you know?
I thought that was. It's not inmate. It's the other one.
No, I think it's limited addiction.
Uh, maybe.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'd have to go watch that one again.
So it's very similar to those PVs, I think. So let's talk
Yeah,
about the song. It's retro.
yeah. Yes, it is. It's. I like it.
It's it's like a mix of disco, vaporwave, new wave, I think.
Sure.
It's just because I listened to this and there are certain sound effects that I remember hearing Michael Jackson songs when he was still doing like disco stuff, and that's the first thing I thought of. But then I heard like Especia doing stuff like this, so I was thinking vaporwave, and there's also like new wave elements. So yeah, I would say it's
Yeah.
very 80s.
With kind of a jazz flow to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
The intro sounds like a Persona like video game soundtrack song. It's great in that. So yeah, I think this song is pretty fucking good. I think the vocals are a little off. I think we noticed this with like the first single they released with the new production team.
Yeah.
I forgot what that song was called. It was before the one with Ohara Yuno.
Yeah.
Um, but that song, I
Uh.
thought the vocals they sounded weird. And I
Yeah.
feel it's continuing here. It just feels very raw and maybe out of their range or something like that. It's hard to describe, but it just sounds odd.
Mm, it wasn't Water Lily.
No,
I know that. And I don't think it was Last Romance either.
I think it is Last Romance. Yes, it was Last Romance.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that the vocals sounded really raw and kind of unfinished, and I think it
Yeah.
carries over here too.
Uh, I don't have an issue with the vocals. I never noticed anything wrong with the vocals in this one for me.
I think it's
I
Hitomi. I think Hitomi just sounds really weird for some reason.
hmm.
Like I don't know if they're working with like a new range of notes and maybe it's not her strong suit because I remember hearing from someone who's in the industry and she's actually released multiple singles. I'm not going to reveal her, but I am familiar with her and what she's told me and her mom has told me is that her vocal range limited her to certain ranges like you can only do like baritone, you can only do there's vocal, stylings and ranges that
Yeah.
it's more popular terms used in like opera music. And when you have that, there are limitations to what songs and what notes you can do and how you sing them. So I feel like that's coming
Yeah.
across here. I think that's just one speculation I have about why I find it weird. But so
It might also just be the way they're doing it too. It's not. Some of it's not as strong.
yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like they're trying to sound like they're weaker,
Yeah, softer,
which yeah,
delicate. Yeah.
which could make it sound a little more rough.
Yeah. All right.
So
Anything else on this?
I think Miyu sounds really good in this though.
Me sounds good. Yuri sounds good.
Which Miyu has always been kind of the weakest of the group as far
Easily.
as that
Yep.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
And she normally stands out to me when she sings. And this one she blends really well with the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's not a oh that's Miyu, kind of smack in the face type thing. This one it's good for her.
All right. All right. You want to rate it?
Um, I would I would shelf the PV. It's not one I would really go back to revisit as nice as they look in it. The song I'd put it on a playlist. It's not as upbeat. It's not quite as fast as I would prefer for something on repeat.
Yeah, I would shelf the PV. It's nice to watch. Like I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I can definitely watch this multiple times and enjoy it. But there's something about the location. It feels very mundane and not interesting. While previous TGS PVs they did like the typical Avex blow it up, crazy ass western looking place. This just looks like a cabin in the woods and outside, so it's a little missing a little bit of something. A
Yeah.
song I'll put on a playlist. I think it's really catchy. I think this direction that TGS is going in is great. It's a good change of what they've been doing, where they transformed from like funky, jazzy stuff to a little bit of EDM, synth pop stuff, and then now they're going into this new direction, hopefully, and I'm digging it here at least. So that's Tokyo Girl Style. Kiswa Genai. Next up, another Avex group. Wa-suta, the world standard. Tapioca milk tea.
Is Wasta like the only thing left of Idol Street at this point?
I mean, Supergirls is there. Cheeky Parade is bound to die in a couple months. Months, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Wa-suta going strong. They seem to be the most talked about Idol Street group, I think, at this point.
They seem to be the safest bet for them anyway at this point.
Yeah, Supergirls is kind of bleeding members. They're about to lose Shimura Rika, or they may have just lost Shimura Rika, and then Tanaka Mire graduated a couple months ago. So yeah, it's looking kind of grim for Idle Street, but Wa-suta going strong with a song to promote milk tea or
Tapioca.
tapioca milk tea, which
That
is
bubble tea.
the bubble tea, boba tea. So yeah, bubble tea, really good. If you haven't tried it, go try it. It's really delicious. It's a
I
good
haven't.
dessert drink. It's a good try it once, at least once. I think you might like it. I don't know.
I like tapioca pudding.
Yeah, it's basically that, but in a smoothie-ish form. And depending on what kind of thing you can get it as a tea, or I've had smoothies, which are pretty good too. Yeah, I don't think they're promoting any specific bubble tea brand. They just wanted to do a bubble tea song, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen any like, oh my god, Starbucks type
yeah,
thing.
right. Oh man, if Starbucks started serving bubble tea, oh my god, I'll be there every day. So this song doesn't really sound like Wasta. It's very tame and kind of straightforward for how ridiculous Wasta is and how ridiculous this song is as a
Yeah.
concept, an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely much more straightforward.
It's it's like that typical funky horny horns J-pop. It
Yeah.
to me sounds like Dreams Come True music, which is a band if you are not familiar. Um,
I'm familiar with the name, but I never listened to them.
yeah, their 90s stuff is excellent. Um, this song is just annoyingly catchy to me. I don't know if it's working for you.
Yeah, it's all right. And
I was humming this all throughout the week.
I think I think it's actually the vocals that throw me off this song rather than anything with the instrumentals.
Is it that they're bad, or is it that it doesn't make sense with the song?
I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it fits the song.
Mm.
No, they're not bad. I mean, they're fine as far as the vocals go. But yeah, I don't know. They just don't feel. Yeah, they don't feel like they fit the song well.
I think this the singing style, like the way they sing, is what's bothering you, right? Like it doesn't really match the music or whatever.
Yeah,
I feel like the way they're singing is just perfect to give off that commercial sound. Like, hey, this is a commercial song for laundry detergent or a summer energy drink or happens to be tapioca milk tea.
maybe, maybe.
But yeah, I
I don't
think it's
know.
catchy and it's got a good melody and then it's one of those things that it gets stuck in my head and I can't get it out of my head and I think about milk tea. It's just a really easy chorus to hum to. It's just like it's just really simple, straightforward, nothing like crazy creative or anything. It's just easy to hook you, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see if this came on, I would not want to skip it, but at least not to start with. A couple months down the road, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. But I think initially it's made a very strong impression on me. I like it a lot. The PV, it's not as crazy as the typical Wasta PV, even though this is plenty crazy, but
Yeah, not as crazy.
definitely not as crazy.
The outlets are still out there.
Oh yeah,
Um, it took me a minute to realize what the thing on their back was.
what is it on their back? I didn't realize they had a thing on their back.
It's a straw with tapioca balls in it.
They literally have tapioca like attached to every like joint of their body.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Or at least that's what it looks like to be.
Yeah.
and but they're very typical Wa-suta outfits.
Yeah, it's just colorful, colorful in that pastel color. It's not bright neon or anything. They always use that toned down pastel
Yeah,
colors, so it's not too offensive. But yeah, it's just accessories on top of accessories, and you know, embellishments on top of ornaments.
yeah. They got a yin yang sign on there. They got hearts and
Right.
the cat ears, of course.
Of course, you can't live without the cat ears. So they're also wearing like school uniforms and drinking bubble
Yeah,
tea on the street, like in random locations on the street. I thought those were the best shots.
yeah.
I could really do without the CG'd. Hey, this is it says tapioca milk tea or bubble tea in the back. You know, I can't
Yep.
read Chinese, but I'm assuming that's probably what it says. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really like the shots where they're wearing school uniforms, and also the scene where they're wearing like summer clothes inside a studio.
I don't like the giant ears, the giant fuzzy ears that they're wearing in the school uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely do without those. Like just plain school uniforms, it looks awesome. It just looks like, hey, we're getting this like hot new drink because it's so popular and mainstream, and we're getting it right after school. Like it looks like that, and I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I think if they weren't so furry and fuzzy and they tried to do more of the cute cat ears, I'd be okay with it. But
Yeah.
with the choice that they made, it's just nah.
I just wish like they don't do the cat ears outside of their crazy performance outfits, you know?
Yeah. Well, the summer outfits,
They're not wearing cat ears.
the beach outfits, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
So
So they
which
can
is
do stuff without cat ears. This is proof.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not enough. No, it's not enough not cat ears, basically.
And I want to know what uh, bubble tea seasoned with tears tastes like, because that's one of the lines in the song.
And I mean, they do show each member with a single
Cry.
tear rolling
Yeah,
down their cheek. So
the
yes,
ever so fake tears.
yes, no, it's
Uh,
real, man. It gets so emotional talking about bubble tea.
no, those are definitely fake.
It makes me cry
Uh,
too when I think about bubble tea. Yeah,
uh,
but yeah, I think it's a fun PV. It's well shot. I just think there is some blooming going on. Like the color treatment's weird. There's like a pink, purplish filter on top, and then the colors aren't as vibrant as they should be.
there's some Japan filter too, I think.
Yeah, so the colors aren't vibrant. It's just kind of stale looking.
Yeah,
It's like
except
they took a tracing paper and just put it on top of the video or something. That's what it looks like.
I don't like the little square outline that they put in.
Yeah, that's completely unnecessary. Yeah, they frame some shots.
Uh, it's just yeah, that's not needed.
Yeah, it's definitely
And
unnecessary. All right. Anything else?
no. Mm, I'd put the PV on a playlist. I might put it on repeat if I was more into the group. Um, and I'd put the song on a playlist too.
Wait, you said PV on a playlist?
Yeah,
Oh wow, nice.
I might put this one on repeat if I was more into the group. And
Right. It's a good PV.
yeah,
I'll do playlist for both the PV and the song. I think the song, if it was maybe a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it had a little bit more kick, it would be repeat. But yeah, it's just just lacking a little bit of punch. But it's really catchy and feels like a very good summer song, I think. So it's great. The PV, yeah, the color is what's turning me off. I like everything else basically, but yeah, the color is really off and not bright, so kind of disappointing in that regard. All right, it's Wasta Tapioca Milk Tea. Next up, Gang Parade Lila. Sorry, was that racist?
I don't know.
It probably was. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it that way.
If that's the case, the way they're singing's racist too.
I mean, that's sort of what I wanted to mimic, is that they do very exaggerated enunciation as if they were mocking the Chinese language because the Chinese language has very like high and low inflections of the voice. So they're kind of going for that in their singing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, to put into context, they shot this PV in Taiwan, and they're going full on like Shaolin monk or martial artist outfits too. So,
Yep.
but the song is, kind of like your typical Gang Parade, Whack family song. It's alternative rock, definitely with punk elements. It just so happens that like some of the members sing with a very exaggerated singing style as to mimic the Chinese language.
Yeah. Yep. I had a random thought about Chinese. It's like, how does a tone deaf person learn Chinese?
Tone deaf, as in like someone's being sarcastic, but you can't tell because they're speaking with Chinese.
No, like they literally can't tell the difference in pitch.
Oh, okay, like an actual tone deaf person, like
Yeah.
singing in music.
Yeah. Because
I don't know how that's gonna
Chinese
work.
has a lot of pitch.
Right.
Uh, Depending on if it's a high or a low pitch, changes the meaning of the word.
I don't know how far that extent, how far that goes. So you can't. I don't know. I can't help you there.
So I'm just like, how does a tone deaf person, actually learn the language?
I don't know if anyone's done some deep study on tone deaf Chinese people, but yes, that could be a
That
thing, I guess.
it was a random thought I had a few days ago.
While watching this,
No,
no,
it's
just a
actually
random
something else.
thought, literally
Yeah.
a random thought. Okay. So yeah, I think this song is pretty catchy. It's not doing anything new, it's typical wax stuff. So you get,
Yeah.
you know, what's expected basically.
Except for the way they're singing in some parts is a little different than normal, but
Right. So yeah, that's probably what makes it a little different from all the other wax songs.
yeah, it's Gang Parade.
Yep.
Or yeah, I honestly have a hard time telling the difference between these groups. Just listening to them.
Well, you see the one with the green shaved head? Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's Gang
well,
Parade.
if I'm watching them, I can tell the difference, but just listening to them, not really.
You see pink reddish hair? That's Gang Parade.
Well, yeah,
If you see someone in clown makeup, that's Biss.
or Necronomidal.
That too.
uh,
Let's talk
yeah,
about the PV. The members of Gang Parade are doing martial art poses, Shaolin monk Tai Chi poses all over Taiwan. You see that very famous. It's a building in Taiwan that I've seen in multiple videos. Funny enough, Japanese idol music videos. So they're just traveling to find their producer Watanabe Junnosuke. They have a sign that says missing. What does it say? Find him or something.
okay,
So they're trying to
interesting.
look for him. Yeah, but they don't find him, and they don't really address it except for the fact that they show a piece of paper with a picture of his face a couple times,
Okay,
and they just walk around Taiwan looking for him while doing very stereotypical martial art poses that
yeah,
some very sensitive people might find to be offensive.
yeah, yep. I'm not even gonna touch that.
Yep, cultural appropriation, which is Japan's strong suit
Yeah, I'm not going there.
or weak suit. I don't know how to. I don't even know which, but yeah. So that's basically it. It's just a very
Yeah,
scenic, music video of Taiwan. It looks good.
yeah,
It does look dark even in the outside shots. So it looks like it was cloudy that day.
yeah, yeah.
So
It does.
it seems to be the biggest issue. But yeah, it's not a bad PV.
Yeah, it's shot well for what they had. Doesn't look like it's overly filtered. So
Yeah, those pink Shaolin outfits are kind of ridiculous, and it looks like it's
Yeah.
made out of velvet or satin
Or
or velour.
lycra or something.
Yeah, it just looks very shiny and sheen. So I don't know. Looks
Maybe
kind of
satin, but
yeah, it looks kind of ridiculous.
it's the color is a little yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to help them during their training. So
No.
yeah, yeah. So they can't find Junjun. They're like, "Have you seen him?" And they don't really address it at the end. Like, "Oh, we couldn't find him." You know, it's not really addressed. So it just
Hmm.
abruptly ends.
Yeah, don't worry. Look for that in the next PV
Yeah,
from
there's continuity.
Bish or something.
Yeah, sure. Who would be the next group to release something? Yeah, I think it would be Bish.
Or Biss.
I think Biss released something fairly recently.
It shouldn't be that other group.
Empire.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
because Empire released like 6 freaking PVs.
yeah.
Uh,
Anything else on this?
no,
All right,
it's.
rate it.
I would shelf the PV. It's. There's not much here that I want to rewatch. Yeah, I'd shelf the song too. Not really doing it for me.
Yeah, I will shelf the PV. It's okay. It's kind of interesting, but it's kind of a lot of one thing, so it's kind of boring after now that I've seen this about 8 times. I'm kind of over it. The song is pretty catchy. I'm down with wax music, so yeah, it's if it's catchy, it's good to me. So, it's a playlist. That's Gang Parade, Lila. Next up, kind of whack, semi-whack group Maison Book Girl, Rain Toto Kubi no Nai Tori.
Yeah, at least they're same. They're not the same songwriter, are they?
No,
Yeah,
no, this is completely different dude.
that's what I thought.
Wax done by Matsuka Makenta. This is done by the dude who does random songs for Kikawa Yu, and you're like, oh my god, this is absolutely the only person. There's only one person in the world that could write songs like this, and it's this guy. I don't even remember his name because I'm kind of over his sound.
Yeah.
And it continues here. This is a Maison Book Girl ass Maison Book Girl song.
Yep.
Odd time signatures, very lethargic singing, same instrumentals.
Yep. The same synth sounds.
The violin, the drums, the clapping, the hi-hat, and the xylophone or the marimba sound. It's all there.
Yep. I kind of liked the violin at the opening, but it didn't really stick around. So that kind of fell off.
Well, every Maison Book Girl song has violin at some point, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I I think I enjoyed this one maybe as much as their last one. Um,
I don't even remember the last one.
and then the ones from like,
They're all starting to sound the same.
well, from the one after Cloudy Irony up to the one before this, were all kind of meh. They were too much like Cloudy Irony. This one and the last one at least have a little more variation from those.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, it's still a little slow for me. A little too put me to sleep sounding.
Yeah, and this song feels oddly segmented. It doesn't really build into the chorus and stuff. So it just kind of, to me, feels like abruptly starts. And I don't think the melody's very hooky. It's kind of there.
Yeah.
I think I'm just over Maison Book Girl's sound at this point. It was novel
Yeah.
at first. The first couple times, it's very novel. But yeah, I'm just over it. When every song sounds like this, it's a little bit much for me.
Yeah, yeah. This is a little. They need something new.
Yeah. The PV. It's your typical Maison Book Girl PV where they kind of shoot in a modern looking location, but it's always desolate, as in there's no people around. It's always them. It's supposed to, I'm assuming, signal like, you know, depression, being alone, sadness,
Yeah,
loneliness, all that stuff that that you get from being lonely.
and
So,
there's one scene that tends to that repeats itself, and towards the end, and it's like, it just kind of peters out. It almost looks like someplace where they do like I don't know weapons testing or something. It's just very desolate and depressing. I wouldn't even say modern looking for me,
yeah,
but
it just looks like a place where people would be. That's sort of what I was going for, but there isn't because Maison Book Girl never shows anyone outside of the members.
yeah,
So,
kind of looks like an abandoned school or something.
yeah, like
I
a
don't know. Don't know exactly what the building is, but it definitely looks abandoned.
yeah. This
The only
is go ahead.
the only really interesting thing is their ponchos that glow in the dark. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing on the PV is they don't do it enough though. That's my issue,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. No, I'd agree. There's very like quick glimpses of it, but it doesn't really last long enough.
Yeah. That's definitely the best part. I think we've always said when like glow in the dark stuff comes up, we're always like someone should really make a good ass PV with that because we haven't seen it done very well too many times.
Yeah,
So it always feels like someone has the idea, but then they don't really have a full grasp of it. So
yeah. They've got the little tiny ember of an idea to use it, and then
yep.
it's just like, oh well, we need this and this and this in the video too, and why do we need blood splashes across the screen?
Because we can.
Yeah. So
All right. Anything else?
no. I
Rate it.
would mm, I think I dumped the PV. Um and this song would be like maybe a shelf. It's really borderline for me.
Yeah. I would shelf both. I think the PV looks good. It's shot really nicely. That's one thing about Maison Girls PVs that I really like is that I really like the camera quality or whatever filter they use on top, and the lighting is really good. So that's cool. But yeah, it's just their concept is a little too out there and artsy for me, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really resonate with me, unfortunately. Song, it's like every other Maison Book Girl song. It's fine if it, comes on. I'm not gonna put on a playlist, but if it comes on someone's playlist or in some sort of PV playlist and I have to listen to it, I don't mind it. It's not a bad song. It's just another Maison Book Girl song that I'm not very fond of at this point. I've seen it. I've heard it too many times. It's Maison Book Girl. Raincoat to Kubi no Nai Tori. All right, let's the regular section of the show. Now we got a couple PVs to talk about in the rapid fire. So we'll be really quick. Talk about the PV and the song very quickly and score it. PV for this Tokyo Performance Doll, Shapeless. Not much going on. This is what I think of when like Perfume is not feeling like they're excited about their stuff.
Hmm.
Like this feels very Perfume to me, at least the PV.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
I could, yeah.
shapes, lighting, colors.
Dancing.
Well, yes, of course. The song is definitely more pop though, so
Yeah.
it's not so much that auto tune. Hey, we're gonna be quirky for being, for the sake of being quirky, kind of thing. I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of sounds disparaging, but that's just how it comes off to me.
Saw one girl wearing colored eye contacts.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's really blue. Yeah, there's it's well put together. The song's good. Um, I wouldn't say it's super catchy. Um,
Yeah, I think it's missing something. I don't know what it is.
but it's a decent song. The PV's okay.
A little bit of blooming. The background is basically just a white projection screen, and that's it. So it's kind of not interesting to watch. Like this would be good as a secondary shot to an actual PV. So this is
Yeah.
a special version. So maybe they're gonna release a full on thing later down the road. So maybe we're wasting our time talking about this, but I feel like this should be a part of a bigger PV.
Yeah. And I don't feel the PV is very shapeless. I think there's lots of shapes in it,
Lots,
but
lots of
but it
angles.
it has no drama, no
No,
excitement.
right.
Uh, So there's nothing really there that makes me want to watch it.
No, it's the members. If you're not invested in the members, this is gonna be a very uh, it's just gonna be like boiled down to me saying it's perfume esque because I don't really care about perfume. So I just imagine perfume to do something like this if they didn't have the money.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. The outfits look good. The members look good.
Yep. That's all I
No,
can say about the video, I think.
there was some artistic vision in either the post production or the recording or something, but yeah, it's not. Unless you know the members, it's not worth the watch. I don't think.
Yep. All right. You want to rate it?
I will. I think I'd put the song on a playlist. The song's all right. But I definitely like shelf the PV.
I think this is a borderline, like, close, very close to playlist, but I'm gonna shelf it. It's missing something. The hook is there, but it's just not strong enough for me. It's fine. It's a fine song. PV, I'm gonna dump it. I just it's just so boring. This feels like One Pixel, that
Mm,
group with the three members, and they do a lot
yep.
of sort of like this, but darker. It's like a One Pixel PV, but like less good looking because the One Pixel camera quality is amazing. They don't use like Japan filter on top. It just looks super HD. This looks like this looks fuzzy
Yeah.
and
Uh,
small.
and that could be from all the added effects that they put on top of it.
Yeah. It just looks fuzzy. The set is small. One Pixel at least has clear colors and also big sets. This doesn't. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna dump the PV. That's Tokyo Performance Doll, Shapeless. Next up, Avandoned. Song's called After School,
Hey,
aka ABC Jackson 5. It's literally the same song, like instrumentally.
I I can hear that.
Yeah, it's
It's been a
piano,
really
tambourine, drums. Yep,
it's been a really long time since I heard that song.
yep. Go listen to it.
Um,
This is instrumentally is the same song.
I guess the PV could be considered very avant-garde or something to that effect, but
Yes, avant-garde, as in they're using videos from all over the world, whether it's cartoons, live footage, TV shows, whatever.
But
And
nothing before like 1994,
yeah, they're definitely going for a
or
retro.
nothing after 1994.
Right, yeah, yeah. It's definitely 80s, 70s, 80s for sure, I think.
Yeah, there might be some like early 90s stuff in there, but
Right, very early. I
some
think I
of the
saw like Rugrats, that dinosaur in the beginning, the cartoon. I believe that dinosaur is from Rugrats. So, um, these things, I think most of them are copyrighted footage. So, I don't know if this is fair use. I guess it is because they don't use very long, you know, they don't use it for very long, and they put graphics over it and themselves over it. So I guess it's fair use.
yeah, it looks like there was like some Sims or something in there too.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
the
yeah,
doll they keep throwing up is just creepy.
yeah. It's just the two members CG'd on top of video footage from 70s, 80s, 90s. So
Yeah, from and it's some really weird footage.
yeah,
I just like, where did you dig this stuff up at?
I don't know.
I
YouTube.
I guess
They just
'cause
randomly like found old videos on YouTube and just ripped it or something. I don't know.
maybe because some of this stuff is just weird,
Yeah.
and I don't think the song's all that catchy either.
Yeah. The catchiest part is the instrumentals. That sounds like ABC.
Yeah, yeah, I think I would shelf the song and I dumped the PV. It's just not. It's really hard to concentrate on the members in this,
Yep.
and so yeah, I think I dumped the PV.
Yeah. I don't know if I would. Yeah, maybe I would dump it. Yeah, I'll dump the PV. Shelf the song. Song's not bad. It's fun as a hey, this song sounds like Jackson 5. So that's Avandoned after school. Next up, amiinA Jubilee.
Wow, this song takes a while to start out.
Yeah. amiinA, they're back with. It's hard to describe their music. It feels like arena rock with folk. Um, it's it's kind of hard to pinpoint a sound or comparison. I would imagine if maybe Kings of Leon, the more recent stuff that they did and when they got popular, they would do music like this, or like what is it, that one group that does, is it Foster and the People? Yeah, those kinds of people, I think. That's how I compare their music. So it's a very
Yeah.
specific sound, and yeah, when it's good, it's good. This one feels pretty middle of the road.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of how I felt without knowing any of your references. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, it's just kind of it's pretty mellow, pretty smooth. It almost feels like it should have a groove to it, and it doesn't. I feel like it needs a little of that like jazz or blues groove, and it just doesn't have that.
yeah. I think this song is definitely not going for like a groove. It's more like it's supposed to be anthemic. When it hits the chorus, it's just like put your fist in the air. It's a very simple chorus. They're repeating the same line over and over again, basically. So it's going for
Yeah,
something very simple and straightforward. Nothing. They're not trying to go for like groove and like pizzazz and flash. It's just like
yeah.
here's the melody.
But I feel like it's missing that. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the kind of music they want to do. It seems like that's
yeah,
not in their wheelhouse.
probably not. Hard to say.
They seem like they do songs
No,
like this. Like the first song I heard by them, Atlas, is very similar to this song. So I think this is kind of
yeah,
what they want to do.
yeah. The
Uh,
PV is
yeah,
them looking for A boy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. I think the lyrics in the chorus is like "Tsuretete your boy," which is "Take me there, boy." So I don't know exactly what's going on. So there's a little boy, and I guess he's gonna take the two members to the promised land or something.
Well, he's looking for his hat, I think, or something, and they're
Oh,
looking for
okay.
the hat too that disappeared, and they end up meeting each other, and I don't know. It's just like they keep missing each other because yeah. So it's I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah,
that's all I got out of it.
I feel like they're acting as like demigods or like muses, where they don't actually communicate with the people. They're just there to kind of guide and be spiritual beings around people.
Maybe,
That's how it feels.
maybe. I really don't know. Um, they do eventually meet. I the video, the way it's shot is a little odd because it's the same shot, but it's split in two.
Right.
It's that mirror effect type thing,
Yeah.
and you see the members passing the boy as he's coming down the stairs, but because they're in like I guess different dimensions or something.
Yeah, and then you can see the when the boy's running, you can see him holding something, so which I assume is like
Yeah,
a selfie stick, and then they sliced it in half so you don't see the selfie stick. You
yeah,
just see his hand holding something. So I don't know. It's a really interesting idea though of like this mirroring that you talked about. I think it's something we don't really see.
yeah. No, it's definitely something we don't see much. I don't know, it kind of gave me an uneasy feeling though watching this.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if
just
it was the effect of it or the motion or what, but
to me it feels like it makes me feel mortal. Where look at how big this world is kind of the feeling I get from watching this. And I feel
yeah,
uneasy about that. I have a phobia about really big things. Like thinking about space and deep sea makes me very uncomfortable. And this sort of has that same feeling of look at how big the world is. And I'm not super excited.
yeah, I could see that. I guess that's about it.
Yeah. You want to rate it?
I would. I think I'd shelf both. This song just doesn't catch me because I don't think their last one did either. So, um, yeah, I would definitely think go with shelf on both.
Yep, I'm with you. Shelf on both. It's amiinA Jubilee. And last but not least, RECOJO, Onegai Adler.
This one has more of that groove to it, kind
Yeah,
of
this
feel,
one's definitely a little groovier. Yeah.
but it's still very mellow.
Yeah.
This seems to be the week for mellow stuff to come out.
It's like, hey, we're doing unobjectionable stuff
Yeah,
musically.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it's very clean, cookie cutter. It's that if you were a girl dating a boy, it's that boy you can bring home and your parents aren't offended.
Yeah. Except for that, Resident Evil umbrella symbol that they're dancing on.
Oh, is that what it is?
This is what it looks like.
Okay. I've
I'm
never
sure it's
played a Resident
not.
Evil game, so
I'm sure that's not what they meant, but that's what it looks like. I'm sure it's supposed to be like the top of a cake or something, and with the wedding or the couple on top of it.
right. And the members are just it's a rotating set, or the umbrella part is rotating, and the members are just dancing around them as the set rotates.
Yeah,
And that's essentially this entire PV is the members performing and singing on this rotating set.
with different themes.
Right.
Um, I ju- they show the scene with like okay, I get the one member is from the three little pigs. And the other one is Red
Little Red. Yep.
Riding Hood. Who's the other one from? Because she got like demon horns.
Or it could be like a ram horn, you know?
Oh, sheep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What is it?
Uh,
Bo Peep?
oh, Little Bo Peep?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe.
She herds them from wolves, is that it? I don't know if
Uh,
she does, but I feel
I
like
don't remember.
that's the only kind of fairy tale folklore thing that I can think of that involves sheep.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Boy Who
maybe.
Cried Wolf, like the wolf in that kills sheep, right?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read those.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but
um, and then he eats them and they turn into wolves.
yeah.
And that's pretty much the rest
And
of the PV.
this PV reminds me of Buchake Chake Rock and Roll.
Mm.
Buchake Chake Chake Chake. Yeah, that one from Baby Raids. They had the same exact concept of the rotating set, but they kind of slowed the speed down and then sped it up to kind of
Yeah.
make the PV a little more. They change up the speed to make it a little more interesting. This
Yeah.
PV moves at one speed, and also the background is like this cream beige color, so it's just monotonous and everything blends together. So there's no
Yeah.
dimension. I'm sure that's what they were going for, but it to me it just looks flat and lame. It just
Yeah,
looks boring.
there's no depth to it.
Yeah.
No
Um,
depth at all.
People should go check out Buchaka Chake Rock and Roll by Baby Raids. That's a good ass PV that takes this concept, makes it funnier, makes it more colorful, and more variety. So
Yeah, they put it in a set. That's the one where they're like
they were filming the PV, yeah.
they're filming a PV within the PV. Yeah.
Yep. And it was a tiger that is the director. Yep.
Yep.
That's a fun PV with goofy stuff and good camera work, good editing, speeding up and slowing down a video. So
Yeah.
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 This one, yeah, doesn't quite do it. But I'm sure they're not working with the same budget as Baby Raids, so they have their
Yeah.
limitations.
The first one I think is like Cinderella, and the members are supposed to be Cinderella, I guess.
Oh
Or
no, they're
evil
the
stepsisters
sisters. Yeah, the stepsisters.
at the end where they actually have to do work.
Right, that might be it.
Makes sense.
Because they never become Cinderella.
Yeah, where Cinderella's getting married to Prince Charming.
Right. Or I'm talking about the members. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't become Cinderella. So yeah.
Right,
They
yeah.
seem to be the sisters.
That kind of makes sense, I guess.
Is that a reference to Adler? I figured Adler was a reference to the psychologist.
I don't know.
I forgot his first. Alfred Adler, I think. That's what I assumed, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that pertains to all those folklore fairy tale things, but yeah, that's what I guessed. I don't know if that's accurate.
I have no idea.
Yeah. All right. You want to rate it?
I would. I think I'd shelf both on this one. They're just a little too mellow, and the peepee's not that interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm like borderline about to dump it. It's just lacking in action and movement and intrigue. It's just slow and flat overall. I'll just shelf it. And yeah, the song I'll shelf too. It's got a decent hook, but the instrumentals are so subtle and soft. It's just not in your face enough. I wish it was a little more aggressive with like maybe more aggressive horns. Maybe if it was a little more up tempo, maybe the hook needed to be a little stronger. But yeah, it's just missing a little something. So shelf both. That's RECOJO Onagai Adler. And that's all the PVs we're going to talk about tonight. But before we end the show, MVPV of the night. Give me your top 2 or 3.
TGS and Wasta.
I am with you. I agree. TGS and Wasta. And I'll probably put Gang Parade at 3. What would be your vote for number 1?
Um. hmm, no. Probably. I'd probably go with TGS.
I think you had higher scores for Wa-suta. Just saying.
Did I?
I think you did. I think you playlisted both, and I think you may have repeated.
No, I didn't. I don't think I
I think
repeated anything.
I think the song you said you put on repeat. Maybe you misspoke. I don't know, or I'm misremembering.
No, I don't think I said anything on repeat.
I think you at least playlisted both, and I think you said you were going to shelf the PV for TGS.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about
I'm
right.
just pointing it out. You can make your logic. You can make your logic sound whatever. I don't really care. But if TGS is your number one, that's fine. But I'm just pointing it out.
Well, I'm not. That's just it's like half a point difference here
Yeah.
for me.
Well,
And it's really close.
my number one's it's really close. Wasta for me is my number one. I think the PV is way more fun and interesting. It's not shot as well as the TGS PV, but it has more variety, a little more humor, a little bit of the typical idol cutesiness that we like.
Yeah.
Say what you will about their outfits, it's still a cohesive release from them.
Yeah.
TGS, the song is almost as good. I think it's slightly below Tapioca Milk Tea, but I would say I would call that a wash for me. But I think just the PV being a little more fun and cutesy with Tapioca Milk Tea, I have to give the edge to Asta, personally.
Yeah. All right, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So MVP of the week goes to Wasta Tapioca Milk Tea. That's gonna do it for the show. But before we end the show, let me do some plugs. We record Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/NewSchoolKaidan and youtube.com/NewSchoolKaidan. Check us out on Twitter at NewSchoolKaidan, me at YoshiRect, and Draco at Draco60. And we do have a Discord channel server at discord.me/NSK. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right. That'll do it for the show. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.